Still treating your real estate business as a side hustle? At Joe Homebuyer, we help real estate entrepreneurs scale to full-time with the right strategies, training, and community. Join a winning community of go-givers. Get access to weekly strategy calls, leadership training, and industry expert masterclasses. Plus, we'll help you get more deals across the finish line and increase your profits. If you want to stop grinding and start growing, Joe Homebuyer is your competitive edge. What is up, the Science of Flipping family? This is a great episode. Now, he and his business partner are on separate episodes because they functionally run separate parts of the business. Today, I have my guy, Cody Hofhine. He is one of the original leaders, thought leaders, and simply one of the experts for years, well over a decade, along with myself in the space of real estate investing. And I have Cody here with me today, brother. What is happening?
Dude, I'm so excited to be here. I was fired up. I landed in Miami, never been to Miami to like actually stay here, be here. We're only here for one night. Now I'm wishing here we were more nights.
Dude, I wish you were here more nights too. It's a great place to be right now.
And it's raining though. Why is it raining? Come on.
As Florida.
All right.
Florida.
All right.
So listen, you and I have been around a long, long time together.
Yes.
You were one of the original members of Wholesaling Inc.
Yep.
You've done however many thousands of deals. You've been a leader to how many thousands and tens of thousands. You are now the co-owner of Joe Homebuyer, and you have a franchise with over 80 franchisees.
That's right.
How the hell did that all come about?
I wish I could say as a genius. So sometimes I sit there and pinch myself wondering how it all happened. Step by step. I think this goes back in just general in life, and I think you could probably pin it to your own life, is life had to perfectly happen for me. And you start with working for a dad and then realizing when 2009 hit and the economy, he's in construction. So we were building all these big, massive commercial buildings. 2009, market crashes, and he wanted to keep paying me because he's just an incredible dad and an incredible mom. But I couldn't let him do it. So I went and got, of all things, a sales job, selling vinyl fencing. This is how I met Mark Stubler, my business partner. So you start to see how this all pans out and works out. When you look backwards, you can see everything like hindsight. It's all 20/20 vision. But as you're moving forward, sometimes it's like you don't know how to connect the dots. You don't know why they're especially with the reason, right?
A little bit, right? That's when you say, why is this happening to me, right? Now, internally, that's what most people say. They have to reframe it. It's happening for you.
Absolutely happening for you, even though you can't see it in the moment. When you look back, you're like, I had to do it. It was hard though. It was hard
if you didn't have Wholesaling Inc.
No.
You didn't leave Wholesaling Inc.
Yeah, and I don't have Wholesaling Inc. if I didn't do insurance, because insurance allowed me to insure all these real estate investors. I was one of the largest agents, like insuring like specifically fix and flip investors. And I would go to these meetings all the time, like nonstop.
Yeah.
And I would never listen to real estate. All I'd hear is, I have 3 rentals. I'm like, that's 3 in policies. That's 3 brand new policies. I'm going to go meet that guy.
Yeah.
I'd never once heard, I made 50,000 on this deal. I made 80,000 on this deal. I made 20,000. Never once heard it. All I heard was 3 more homes that I get to insure and make $400 a year on those policies.
Yeah. Listen, some people would say get singular focused and you'll have great results, which is true.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to kind of open up your ears a little bit and say, okay, what am I not hearing?
Yeah.
Right. Which is you're like, oh, there's 3 fix and flippers here that, And so let's talk about, you are brilliant in the space and you've been around for a very long time about leading people.
Yeah.
And now you have 80 franchisees that you get to lead and bring to the promised land, so to speak, within the real estate space, investing in wholesaling, fix and flipping. Talk to us a little bit about what it takes to like run a company that has 80 people depending on you.
Yeah. I think in most cases, I think you probably see this in coaching. Someone's coming to you for that silver bullet. It's like, what is the one marketing channel that will produce X amount of leads and produce X amount of deals every single month? And here's what I have learned over the years. I've learned that it's less to do about external strategy and more to do about internal mastery.
Yeah.
Like the more we work on ourselves, our business is just a byproduct of who we're becoming each and every day. So Jim Rohn says, rarely does a man's income exceed his level of personal development, right? Yeah. And so the commitment for me is, how do I teach each one of our Joe franchise owners? How do I teach them and develop them into becoming just incredible leaders and do the work inside? Like, how do we help them have stronger mindset? How do we help them have better habits that not just serve them, but also serve their business and their family? Like, these are things that are not being taught, I think, just out there everywhere. Sometimes it's that, even with Wholesaling Inc., we're really good at teaching people how to get their first deal, but we really didn't go deep on mindset, or someone that's fearful of spending more than $100 on direct mail. Like, that was tough.
Yeah.
We have
$100. Remember those days?
Oh my goodness.
$100 on direct mail.
Yeah. And you'd get a deal.
Yeah. Wild.
No, you can't even get a click for $100.
No.
But yeah, times have changed, but it's making sure that we are developing them as human beings, because the business will only go and grow to the level of your commitment to your personal development. And I've seen this, and that's why I work heavily with incredible mentors in my life that are better than me. Some of the things that I'll share on the podcast, know that I sit on the shoulders or stand on the shoulders of great people that have taught me this stuff.
That's right.
Robin Sharma, one of those dear mentors / friends now that I love learning from all the time, because he's kind of helped me realize, like, don't do this victory on your own. There's nothing worse than doing climbing. We're all climbing our Mount Everest, right?
Yep.
There's nothing worse than getting to the top and realize no one's there with you. You didn't bring your family along with you, your wife, your kids with you. It's like, that's an empty victory. And so
I totally agree.
Build it in a way that you can still have incredible balance in life. And it doesn't mean equal time in all areas, but that we're present in all areas with the time that we have.
Yeah, listen, I say it and it's slightly different, but the reason why I reframed coaching for myself is I don't want to get rich off people and be at the top of the mountain with no one around me.
Yeah.
I want to get rich with people.
Yeah.
And we're all at the top of the mountain. Yeah. Right. And that's a big passion of mine going into 2025. Right. And I know this is you and Mark's big passion as well, is not do it, or do it with everybody, not just teach everybody and say, hey, go do this thing. Right. You said something that kind of triggered a thought I had over the last week, is the idea of like intra value versus enterprise value. A great friend of mine, Cole, said that to me this week. And it was like, that is...
I'd love to hear more about where you're going with this.
Well, the value you see within yourself and respecting yourself to have your mind and your body and mindset, your body, your inner person, your faith, your belief system in alignment with what you actually want. And that is where you usually will talk about the business side, the money side, the finance side, right?
Yep.
And if you can put your intra or interpersonal value in alignment with your enterprise value, the business, the finances, then you can actually achieve that.
Yeah.
But if it's incongruent, it's going to be lopsided, right? So if you only focus on business and money, you might make a whole ton of money, but you might be overweight, overworked, stressed out, impatient.
No relationships.
Exactly. Right. So let's talk about how you bring that to the table for Joe Homebuyer franchisees.
Okay, so example, last Thursday. So every Thursday I get to do a call with our franchisees, and it's always built around personal development. So they know my call is just going to be personal development. Yeah. It's like we call it the chocolate covered broccoli, right? Like, no one wants broccoli. So you just gotta hide the broccoli in the chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Give them what they think they want, but give them what they need, right? Yeah. And so last week, we went over 5 daily non-negotiables. Some of those are, for example, read 10 pages daily. There's so many great people out there. In fact, I would assume you read a ton.
Yeah.
And if not, you're probably doing a ton of audio.
Audiobooks are my thing. Like, on the way here, I will tell you, I listened to 2 just because I want to highlight this.
Right.
Brand It Like Sirhan.
Yep.
Because I think he is our generational branding genius. Okay. So I'm like, what does he have to say about this? Brilliant book, by the way, if you guys care about brand. Brilliant book. And then the, what was it? Undo. I'll look at it right now. But basically, if things aren't working, how do you change?
Yeah.
I think it's called Undo.
Okay.
Look it on my book. Anyways, because I'm always looking to get better.
Yes. And the great people have already lived an incredible life, have left success clues for us all along the way. And they write them in these books.
That's right.
And it's available to everyone. Elon Musk, he read 10 hours a day as a kid. Look what he's doing in the world today.
Totally.
Like, he read the Britannica, the whole Encyclopedia Britannica before he was 9 years old.
Reset is
nuts.
the book. Reset. And things aren't going the way you're trying to make them go. How do you actually press reset so you can achieve what you want?
Yeah.
By Dan Heath. He's already a 3-time best-selling author, right? Like, the great people are always trying to learn.
Always trying to learn. Warren Buffett, I would consider him already a great, still spends 8 hours a day reading.
Isn't that well, now it's because he has nothing else to do. He's on a whole different planet of what he's doing.
But that's some of the daily non-negotiables. Working out, like bringing your body to a sweat, working out 45 minutes a day. Make that a daily non-negotiable. Yeah. And so they're not coming to me to say, hey, my marketing's out of sync. What do you think I should do? I'm like, I don't know, but have you moved your body today? Like, have you drank water? Have you gone out there and done these things?
Yeah.
And like, no, we haven't done those things. You've got to do those things. Like, the business is only as good as you are treating yourself. And they're like, oh man, I'm so tired. I'm like, it's 3 p.m.
That's right.
Like, we got to get in shape.
Yeah.
Like, we got to make sure we're making the right. So even though they think it costs time to go to the gym or it costs time to do some of these habits, no, those are the things that will give you the energy to do the business and what the business requires.
An investment. You know, I'm going to say something you already know, but it's an investment, right? So I wake up every day at 5 so I can get to the gym. You have 4 kids, I have 2. So
I have to wake up at 5 because of what you just said.
That's
4
right.
kids.
So I know Justin doesn't get any gym time or get to focus on Justin time or sit in silence because we never get that.
No.
If I don't wake up before everyone else, I know that to be true, because by the time my day is done, I'm zapped.
Yeah.
Right. So now what? Now where's my gym time? Where's my focus time? And it's an investment, and the cost, I don't want to pay the cost of whatever. That's even the wrong word. That's already the broken mentality thinking about it. It's the investment in yourself, because the age-old saying is you have to fill up your cup first to be able to pour into others, right?
Okay.
And so that is an investment in yourself above all else.
That's right.
As you know, accurate data and meaningful conversations with sellers drive revenue in real estate. If you can't reach the right homeowner or property, nothing really matters. At Quality Skip, we provide you with the most reliable, up-to-date data to ensure you connect with the right people every single time. Our premium skip tracing services delivers precise, verified matches at just 6 cents per match, a rate far below most competitors, yet with superior accuracy. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, our services maximize your results by turning quality data into more leads, which equates to more deals and ultimately greater profits. Our proven process ensures you never miss a motivated lead, thanks to real-time updates and unmatched data quality. For a limited time, use coupon code SOF for Science of Flipping to receive an extra 10% off. Let Quality Skip empower your business. Experience the quality skip difference. Visit qualityskip.com now.
No, I'm 100% with you. It is what I'm love doing each and every day. I just think, and talking about my wife the other day, I was like, what's amazing is I get paid to do what I love to do, and it's just sit and read, like sit and like study and write out models and business models and be mentored by just great people.
Yeah.
Think about an example. Do you know Dan Martell?
Of course.
Has he been on your podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dan Martell, he taught a principle to me that I still use each and every day with my kids. I use each and every day with our Z's, and that is the 1-3-1 principle. Like, I love this principle. It's one of my favorite principles.
It's great.
Is everyone's going to come to you with a problem. And so these franchisees, they come to us like, oh, our acquisition manager, it's just not working. I got rid of them. And I'm like, are they not working? Or is like the communication on what they need to do not working? And sometimes it's hard for them to really look in the mirror and realize the problem is themselves. And so that framework.
But sometimes you mean like 99% of the time?
It's more than not, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard. We had to go through this. Me and Mark had to eat humble pie. We had our first hire. And it would have been easy. Well, I did say it. I'm guilty of it. I'm like, that acquisition manager sucked.
Yeah.
Like, it just sucked.
Yeah.
It's a C player at best. But really what I'm saying is I'm a C leader at best, because you're only attracting who you are. And so when people are like, you got to have A players, like you've got to do whatever you can to get A players. That's great. But if you're not an A leader, they're not staying. You can convince them. You might con them, just like someone comes to an interview and cons you on, hey, I'm this person. Then first day of work, you're like, wait a second. This is nowhere who just interviewed yesterday, right? They're not going to stay. A players are looking for A leaders. They want to know people know where they're going. They're not going to stay long. And so if I want A players on my team, me and Mark, we had to do the work. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to look in the mirror and realize I was the problem.
That's right.
I was the bottleneck. I was the reason why C-class talent was working for our business, because I was a C-class leader.
Well, and to finish the Dan Martell thought, right? What are the 3 solutions to said problem?
Yeah.
And
Give
then
me the
together,
problem.
we'll figure out what is the one answer.
That's right. How hard is that as a leader, though? Many of them don't do it. They just want to put out the fire. That's what we're trained to do, is speed to this, speed to this. We have Amazon at our fingertips. We have all this easy stuff that makes life so easy. But leadership is not speed to the problem. It's slow. It's taking time and saying, hey, Justin, You say there's a problem.
Were
So
you
what are the
were
three
you
solutions?
were you at my house last night? You and my wife said this. So my wife was just saying something similar about me.
Yeah.
Because I'm dealing with a really unfortunate real estate problem with the bad contractors.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate. And she said, if you were a little bit slower and a little bit more patient, would you have even hired that contractor? And the honest truth, when I really had to internalize that question, was like, fuck no.
She's right.
She's right. Right? And that's the point. As a leader, sometimes you're just like, go and let's just keep going up. We just bought the apartment. We got to get the contracting. We got to, right? And so taking some time, being methodical, but doing it efficiently is really important. And that's, that is what takes you from growth to scale, right?
Yeah.
So Joe Homebuyer takes investors doing deals that need to grow, and then they can grow and scale. But it's also run fast to also slow down.
Yeah.
Like slow down to run fast. That's your idea, right?
That's right.
And that's crucial.
And I think of when it comes to leadership in general, it's not going to be easy. It's the hardest work. Do you know Anthony Trucks?
I don't.
Okay, so a friend of mine, Anthony Trucks, goes and speaks all over on stages, and he calls it the dark work, right? He says it's not easy. It's hard. It's the hardest work out there. So it's not fun. What I do is not the fun work. It's fun for me, but a lot of people don't want to hear it.
It's harder for them, right?
It's harder for them. They want to think it's the marketing. They want to think it's the acquisition manager. They want to think it's because this is off.
Or it's the leads, or it's the market, or it's the interest rates, or it's the neighborhood, or it's the...
Correct.
And that's the challenging part, is like you have to get their buy-in to say, are you good with me just really hitting you in between the eyes? Because I'm objective to this.
This is where I get really good.
I want to help you.
Yes.
I don't have any significant interest in you flipping that home. I want you to flip it and win.
That's right.
So let me tell you why you aren't.
That's exactly right. So we've had experiences, and Mark knows, like, if there's a hard message that's to be delivered,
that's you.
I get to deliver it.
Okay, so how do you deliver that? Let's talk to the leaders of the group, or wannabe leaders.
Yeah.
How do you take a really hard message that you have to deliver to anybody?
Yeah.
How do you frame it?
Okay, so there's a book out there, first and foremost, to kind of reference to this. Crucial Conversations. It's one of the greatest books around this.
Okay.
And it just talks about these conversations have to be had. You just have to have them. They're not going to be fun. They're going to be awkward. But something changed when I really loved the individual, because I asked for their permission. Hey, are you okay that I'm going to tell you things? And it may be things that you may not like to hear, but are you okay if I tell you the honest truth right now?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, tell me.
Yeah.
And so I get their permission first and foremost. And then I tell them it. And I don't mince words. I don't think, well, what I kind of noticed is like, no, it's like you just say it, and you just have to say it. Here's what I noticed.
Yeah.
You always want to blame the leads. You always want to do this. You always want to do this. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's a victim mindset. Victim mindsets don't get anywhere. Do you want to be amongst the winners, or do you want to be amongst the losers? What is your answer? And they're like, well, I want to be a winner. Can you see how that's a victim, or are you mad at me right now for telling you that's a victim mindset? No, that totally makes sense. They know I love them. I get away with it because I honestly love them. And I say that, I reference it many, many times. You know I'm saying this, Justin, because I love you, dude.
Yeah.
I love you too much to see you go down this road, because you're better than this.
Yep.
You're way better than this. And I just call them out.
It's not the fun conversations, but it's the real conversations.
It is.
And more often than not, that person endears you more, loves you more
100%.
at the end of it all.
100%.
In the middle, they're like, Cody, I want to punch you in the face.
We had a guy that it wasn't working out right for the franchise.
Sure.
It wasn't working out right. I had to deliver the hard message, and I had to call him out. And it was a heated up conversation. I had to call him out. And then at the end, a phone call came in directly from this individual saying, I am so sorry. Like, you're absolutely right. I'm so sorry. I should have never said that. But they know I love them. Even though it wasn't working out and it wasn't the greatest situation, they know I love them. They know I love them dearly.
I mean, and especially as guys, like, we always want to fix the problem and don't want to help. We want to just fix it versus help them fix it.
Yeah.
And that isn't a good leader. A good leader doesn't come in and just fix the answer. Like we were just talking about Dan. 131 is because he's not sitting there just fixing.
That's exactly right.
Give me the 3 solutions. We together will figure out what is the best solution.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Right?
That's exactly right.
Give another book or two. I mean, I just love leadership. I mean, it's just something. Give another book or two that you think would be helpful for people. I love that book.
Okay. Great principles come from Robin Sharma. So if you love anything Robin Sharma, like he's my favorite. So he has the 5 a.m. Club that breaks down in like a fake story principles, but then he has
Like
his 8 forms of wealth, which is unreal. And then he has, what is his other one?
Well, just go look him up.
He has another one. Robin Sharma, his books are my favorite. The other one I love all of Jim Rohn's books. What's the one we give out to our group? Leading an Inspired Life. Leading an Inspired Life. It's so easy. His books are great because when he writes them, it's a principle. It's 1, 2, 3 pages, and it's over. I hate, personally, at least my mind, I don't know how your mind works, my brain needs to finish like the chat. I hate mid-chapter, or I forget what the beginning chapter is about.
That's right.
So I hate when people are like, I have this chapter and it's 20 pages. I hate those books. So this is bite-sized. So you can sit there, read it, and then just stew on it and journal about it, whatever it is. And then the next day I do another one. John Maxwell, all of his books. He's the greatest. Like that guy is the OG. That guy's the original when it comes to leadership. He has over 80 books now. He's actually mentored me and Mark, and an incredible human being.
Attention real estate enthusiasts and investors. Are you ready to transform your investment strategies and skyrocket your returns? Join Jason Hartman and his team at Empower Investor Live. This isn't just another conference. It's your gateway to mastering the art of property investment with insights and strategies from the industry's best, including our host, Jason Hartman. Keynote speakers include Sharon Lechter, Mike Maloney, Tom Wheelwright, and more. There's no sales pitch, just real, innovative, actionable content and tools. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, you'll discover secrets to creating lasting wealth through real estate. Know what is coming next. Learn market trends, innovative tools, and network with fellow investors. Secure your seat now and be a part of the movement that shapes the future of real estate. Empowered Investor Live is the opportunity to make 2025 the year you break all barriers to success. Visit empoweredinvestorlive.com today for your ticket to financial freedom. Don't miss out because spaces are filling fast. Go to empoweredinvestorlive.com now. Empowered Investor Live. Invest smarter, grow faster, transform your future. As many of you know, I'm constantly on the move, juggling multiple businesses, traveling, and ensuring I get my morning workouts in. Staying fresh isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. But let's face it, after back-to-back meetings, juggling 2 kids at home, and the hustle and bustle of everyday life, body odor can become an issue. But here's the deal. Mando has revolutionized how I stay fresh. This isn't just another deodorant, it's clinically proven to control odor better than a shower alone with soap. My favorite scent? Bourbon leather. It's fresh, is subtle, and doesn't clash with my cologne. And I was surprised by how well the solid stick works, even after an intense morning workout. Mando's starter pack is perfect for the new customer. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or a deodorant wipe, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners and new customers, you get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% of your starter pack. Use code Colby at shopmando.com. That is shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from the head to the toe with Mando. So let's dive into Joe Homebuyer franchise.
Let's do it.
Right? And being a leader. Now, how many of the franchisees are there growing personnel, right, that are no longer a solopreneur?
Okay, so some of us, meaning, do some of them come that they are all that they're still solopreneurs? Is that the question?
Yeah, my point being is how many of the franchisees are growing in people beyond just growing in business?
Yeah, okay.
Is it a big focus?
It is a big focus.
Yeah.
So with Joe Homebuyer, I would say many that feel stuck, that can't break the ceiling, it's because of that solopreneur, right?
Yep.
That's when you get the fizzle, the sizzle, where everyone's like, I'm burning out.
Mm-hmm.
It's now that passion isn't in alignment with the work they're doing anymore.
Yep.
Like there's a misalignment. So now they're getting burnt out. They're wearing way too many hats, which means think of all the things when it comes to your business. Acquisitions, dispositions, marketing. Like just think of just those top 3 maybe.
Yeah.
Do you love doing all 3 of those?
No.
Either do I, right? I love sales.
Me too.
I really
I love
sales.
acquisitions.
Yeah, I love acquisitions.
Yeah.
So yes, because if I'm an owner, I'm going to do enough work on all of it because it's like, it's my baby, it's my business. But there's going to be a point where you're not in alignment with your natural gifts, your natural strengths, your natural passions. And when you keep doing that work, marketing, dispositions,
Yeah.
you do it long enough, pretty soon you're gonna be like, I haven't broke the ceiling. I haven't figured it out. I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to cash in my chips and go back to a safe job or whatever it is. And many do that. And so, yes, they come to us for that. And I would say the biggest challenge is most people don't know how to find great talent,
That's a huge challenge.
keep talent, and how to lead talent.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think delegation. I was guilty of this. This is why I say it with a smile on my face, because I was bad at it. I would just delegate. And delegate, I thought, was just push it on their desk and they got to get it done and report back on Friday. Worst case is I never even asked them to report back on Friday. There was no accountability. There was nothing. And so there was this abdication, I think, is the word that I'm looking for, versus delegation. It was just like, forget it and set it and forget it and don't check in on them ever again.
Yeah.
True delegation really is elevation with that accountability, where you're helping them rise to the top and become a leader. You want to be replaceable. You want people in your organization to care about your business more than you do. True story. This was cool. I was flying to Puerto Rico. I was speaking at Jerry Norton's event.
Yeah.
Jerry Norton happens to be, he has about 6 active franchises with us. He bought 10 of them. He has 6 of them active with us.
Yeah.
So he flies us out there to go speak to his group of students that were at Fast Track. And then some of those students are now interested in looking into Joe Homebuyer. But we were there to just do value, just to have fun.
Yeah.
I fly into New York. And then while I'm in New York, I get on the plane. I get upgraded to first class. And I'm like, score, like dinner and all that, even though it's not the greatest meal.
Yeah.
But I'm like, great, this will be fantastic. Because I didn't have time to like get a meal in between. Because it was like, get off the plane, get on the plane. And I was back on to go to Puerto Rico. This pilot comes out. Captain Dan Wines. I'll never forget Captain Dan Wines. Captain Dan Wines steps out and he walks out to the first class and he shakes everyone's hand, thanking everyone personally, shaking their hand. And I'm like, this guy's legit. Like, I want to take a page from this guy's book. He goes back to Comfort Plus and says, folks in Comfort Plus, thank you for being here. You guys, this is why I get to provide for my families, because they're great people that continue to fly Delta. Thank you so much. Then he goes back to main class and says the exact same message. Then he comes up and I'm like, man, this guy is literally world class. So when I think of world class or delivering magic, think of I know you got Disney World here, but is there a bunk, like bad version of a Disneyland here?
Oh, I don't even know. Because it's such a.
Is SeaWorld good? I don't know.
I've never been.
I haven't
so
either.
Maybe.
So, but it's like Disney gets it.
Yeah.
Themed everywhere, different, like they deliver magic. This Dan Wines wasn't his business, but yet he cared about it like his own business. He steps up and grabs the phone that has the cable and he does the PA system. He's like, hey, folks, just so you know, I want to tell you, you've got world class. And he uses words me and Mark really love. I love world class. He says, we have the world class flight attendants on this flight today. Let me tell you the process. Thousands of people apply for this job. Only 1% make it. And so let's give a round of applause for our flight attendants. And the whole plane is like cheering on these flight attendants. So we don't even know and we haven't received the service yet. And then on top of it, he says, hey guys, normally when I go to San Juan, we fly at this altitude. Today, we're going to be flying at this altitude just to keep you out of that rough air. We want to make this as smooth as possible. Again, thank you for choosing Delta. And our goal is to like continually like, so that you have a great experience. And then he ends it. And I'm like, this guy was top notch. I've never seen a captain do this. Well, 3/4 of the way through the flight, he hands out postcards to the flight attendant. They go through all of first class, and it's a handwritten note from Captain Dan Wines.
Wow.
And I'm like, who is this guy? He cares about this business like it's his own business.
That's right.
And then on the end, and I have it on my phone. It's actually over there. I'm like, Dan, I have to shake your hand. Like, amazing. World class. Thank you. That experience. And he says, well, you seem pretty cool. So we do a picture together. He has his captain hat on. I have my Joe hat on. And he's like, you look pretty cool. I want to be a Joe. He takes my hat and then he puts his hat on me and we take another picture.
Yeah.
Like world-class experience. But here's what I'm getting at. He didn't sell me on Delta. He didn't sell why Delta's better than Spirit or American or United. He didn't say anything other than he made everyone in that plane feel special. He made them feel incredible. And because of that, I'm now deeper converted to only using Delta. There's my process. I get to witness this live and I come back with a different conviction, a different energy back to the office to say, hey, we've got to be growing Captain Dan Wines in Joe Homebuyer, where they care so much about the business that every time they speak, people just feel incredible and they're going to be that much deeper converted to Joe Homebuyer. And we have that to this degree.
Yeah.
We have that. We have people that care about it like it's their own business. That's true delegation. That's true leadership, is when those Captain Dan Wines pop out in your company and they care about your business more than you care about your business. That's when you know you've nailed leadership. I got to witness it on Delta.
That's phenomenal. So where's Joe Homebuyer going? What's the 2025 vision for the franchise of Joe Homebuyer?
Yeah, we want to add another. What do we want? 40 this year, was it? It was 40 franchises that we're going to add this year is our goal.
Okay.
On top of that, the reason why, and I think some people will be like, well, why not 100? Why not 200? I would love that. Don't get me wrong. But there is a strategy that you have to maintain the culture.
Of course.
And with real estate, it's a little bit trickier than like a crumble cookie where you just have to stand on an X and put a batch of flour together and all this stuff. It's not that. I mean, real estate is already a trick in itself. There's so many people that don't do it right. There's so many people that, I mean, this industry is one of the most hated industries because of people that do it wrong. I don't want them part of Joe. Like, I want them to never even hear the word Joe Homebuyer. I hope they fizzle out and do whatever they want to do. So 40 would be, we have connected with and found through great individuals. We've got Brent, we've got Jerry, we've talked together of great people that are looking for that growth. People that are saying, hey, I want to take my business to the next level.
Where do they go right now? As they just heard that, where can they go to go?
Yeah.
Better reality.
Right now, they can definitely go to joehomebuyer.com, but we also have a giveaway for your audience. It's the joeway.com.
The Joe Way.
And that is the 5 steps of negotiation.
Love
so when people say, rarely do people get past the first year in business, even rare if you make it past 3 years. And Dan Martell was actually, I was talking to him on the phone. He's like, you're a unicorn, Cody. He's like, not many people make it past 10 years in the business. You're a unicorn, my friend. Not many people make it past 10 years in business.
Yeah.
And I would tell you that majority of that success does come from that negotiation, right? That's what allows you. Now, granted, it's hard to say because you got marketing to go inside of that too. But I would say I'd attribute a large portion of that success on how well we negotiate. And that's why they can get their hands on this document.
So I would say go to that website one more time.
The joeway.com.
Joeway.
And it's the 5 steps of negotiation with an accompanying video that it's what we share with our Joes. Like,
when you want a leader like Cody, I would tell all of you guys, right? Make sure you at least talk to them. If you're doing deals and you want a leader like Cody to help you across the finish line to grow a real business, make sure you go to thejoeway.com. So with that being said, Mark and I just talked about the difference between marketing and conversion.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need that sales process because they want to blame marketing, economy, city, whatever.
Yeah.
But really it's because they don't know how to convert actual transaction.
Yeah.
And that's the same in all categories of life, right? If you just actually look at every conversation you have, there's one side basically making a suggestion and selling, and there's one side trying to figure out what they want, right?
Yeah.
I do it with my wife all the time, right? If I want pizza and she wants this, I got to figure out how to get her into the pizza side versus whatever she's trying to think about, which is like healthy or whatever the case is, right? Talk to us about like the state of what Joe Homebuyer is going through with leads, marketing channels, growth. You want to add 40%, that's 50% growth, bro. That is no small feat.
No,
right?
It's not. And it really is coupling and partnering and recognizing like who is a fantastic fit and working with the people where those people are sitting. Yeah. So it really is. It's a very focused, dedicated year that we're going to have.
Good.
But we're excited about it. As it comes to portions of these cells, right?
Yeah.
Think of one thing instantly. I hope this is already like a gold nugget you can take today. Think of right when a phone call comes in. So there's 2 things that we do at Joe Homebuyer we do really, really well. We started tracking this years ago, our live answer rate. So many people go to a voicemail.
Of course.
Or I'm in an appointment and there's no one as backup, so it's just going to voicemail. And they just didn't have any kind of backup. We don't allow that. So we started tracking this. We're probably around 50 percentile, if I had to guess, in live rate when we first tracked this. And we're like, what if we improve this? What would it do to our metrics?
Yeah.
We started improving it. And once we started tracking it, because once what you measure grows,
that's right?
Once we started tracking it, we quickly got into the 90 percentiles.
Wow.
Well, coincidentally, contracts started going up. We stopped losing deals. Now, there's 2 sides to this. So first and foremost, is live answer rate.
Okay.
What does that do is allows you to get a hold of the person, even the person that says, go pound sand, I hate you, Colby, take me off your list. Like, okay, I'm grateful that I know that now versus 20 follow-ups over the next 2 weeks to find out, no, I just call and tell you guys are scumbags, take me off the list.
Right.
Len, you lost all that time. But had you answered live, you would have known that in 10 seconds versus 2 hours of follow-up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Second of all is we found out that many people that are calling in, they're also calling multiple people. And all they need to have is one warm voice, and it could be your voice. If you don't answer, they're not just saying, well, I'll call back Justin Colby next week and hopefully he answers next week. No, they're moving on. They're going, because these people, they have like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They're maybe on a lunch break and they're like, I have no time. So they are making sure that they're getting what they need to get done in that 15 minutes on that break, the smoke break, whatever it is, to call and line up someone to come by their home. If you don't answer the phone call, someone else is getting it. So we are rarely below 96%. Many weeks we're at 100% live answer rate. It's not, here's another setup. It's not for acquisition managers to be on round robin. We do not believe in round robin. Everyone's phone rings. Whoever pulls out a holster gets it. Because if round robin style and that round robin is in appointment,
Yes,
we just lost the call.
voicemail.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
So we have to have all phones ringing. We have lead managers' phones ringing, so they know that after 3 rings, if one of the acquisition managers didn't answer it, lead managers are now on call. Like, we have to answer that phone, and we realized that helped increase our conversion rate, like, instantly. The second thing is when that lead comes in is a voice, or I should say a strategy of qualifying versus disqualifying. So many times, and it can be easy even. How many years have we been doing this? I've been doing it now, well, since 2015. So 10 years. You've been doing it since 18 years.
18 years, 2007.
Think of the night where you kind of just want to go home and hang out with the kids.
Yeah.
And granted, you may not be taking a ton of calls. You probably have a team to do it. But let's say it was you. There could be that night that you're like, I kind of just want to go home. And you'd use a voice of disqualifying. So tell me, Justin, what do you want for your home? And they tell you a price. You look at Zillow. It's the exact same price. You're like, oh, this isn't motivated. Okay, well, it sounds like you probably want to go with an agent because I can't give you that kind of price, and we disqualify, right? Versus qualifying sounds like this. Okay, Justin, it sounds like you know what you want for your home. Tell me a little bit more about it. And I'm going to find these other pillars of motivation, like the condition of the home, or the time frame that they need to move out in, or the driver. What made them pick up a phone and call Cody Hofhine? Like, don't allow price to dictate if someone's motivated or not, because 99 times out of 100, it is not. It's not a sign of motivation. It's actually a deceiver. People are going to say this. They're going to fly a kite because we're trained as negotiators to drop an anchor, right? And then we meet in the middle somewhere. But the whole point is, are we qualifying our leads or are we disqualifying our leads? And so we're really training our Joes when they come in to have a mindset of every lead is hot. We answer all leads live. And we sit there and we qualify. And these qualifying calls are no longer 5-minute calls. Like, qualifying calls are 30 minutes, 45 minutes, because that presentation that takes place in those first 45 minutes is the setup for all these negotiation. When we talked about the joeway.com, the 5 steps of negotiation, once you've done this setup call correctly, those 5 steps of negotiation start to work in your behalf. So you get a home at a deep discount.
I mean, that's huge. That is really everything. Now, when you run your leadership calls, are they only franchise owners, or do they get to bring their team on?
Yeah, the whole operation. So it's not just the owners; it's their whole operation. It's their acquisition managers. In fact, one of our favorites is Chris Osborne. This guy is not even the owner, and he is on, and he adds so much value to the call because he'll tell us things that, hey guys, this is what he's talking about. Like, when he talks about not giving up, like, I had this lead. I'm sitting out in the driveway. I knocked on the door. They didn't answer. I knew they're in there. I knocked again. And then I sat in my car. I'm like, gosh, dang it. Why wouldn't they just answer the door? And I thought, you know what? They need my service. He's like, so I went around back and I knocked on their bedroom window and I woke him up. He's all, they came out, and 30 minutes later, he walked out with a contract because he had a mindset of not just tenacity, but he had a mindset of, where most people are going to have a fear mindset, like, oh, they're going to hate me. They're going to like be bugged to me. Oh, they're going to yell at me. Oh, they're going to think I'm too much. He was like, no, I'm better than everyone out here, and they need my service, not just anyone's service. They need my service. So he goes back there, knocks on their window. 30 minutes later, contract.
I love that tenacity.
It's just,
I use another word for that, but that's some tenacity right there.
That is,
holy
right? And
I love it.
So yes, all of this is for everyone. We even have like our vendor partners and their company join us on that call so that everyone can be part of this family, this culture of growth, of daily growth, and making sure that we're all becoming better versions of ourselves.
What if your real estate business ran like a machine? with constant deals, higher profits, a roadmap to financial freedom. That's exactly what we help entrepreneurs achieve at Joe Homebuyer. We provide the sales, negotiation, and marketing training that separates top investors from the rest. But it's more than just education. It's execution. You'll get weekly strategy calls, expert lead masterclass, deal reviews, and real-time business coaching so you can scale with confidence. Plus, you'll be surrounded by a community of self-driven, winning entrepreneurs who push each other to new heights. And for those of you who take this production to the next level, you'll qualify for our exclusive President's Club, where you'll be rewarded by luxurious vacations, recognition, and high-level networking. If you're serious about turning your side hustle into a business that thrives, Joe Homebuyer is your path to scaling fast and winning bigger. You guys are here at the right time. This week I did a lot of kind of self-analysis in the sense of where I'm going and what I'm building and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things that keeps ringing out to me is the word connection.
Yeah.
Right? Now, a lot of people could take that a lot of different areas, right? But in my idea here for this episode is just the connection to the people.
Yeah.
Right? And building the community and having connection, being meaningful with your connection. Because it's just like faith. Like if you're not meaningful, you can say I believe in God or Jesus, but like if you don't have any intention or connection to that, then it's
Show me the calendar.
it's a little flippant, right? It's like,
yeah.
Right. But if you, and you are the exemplary example. Okay.
The
epitome of that, right? Because you're pouring into your leaders, you're building the connection. And if leaders of the franchises have that same level of commitment to connect with the people that they run the franchise with, they will be successful.
Absolutely. Rarely does a man's income exceed their level of personal development.
Right.
So we get them bought in on this, and they're starting to see it. And there's so many principles that we teach through that no other, like it's not going to be just a wholesaling. If it was just wholesaling or fix and flip, it wouldn't be these principles that I teach on Thursday. They're all leadership principles that lead and guide their team to victory.
Yeah. Listen, you can't, the mind, the body and the mind are so important because I've seen it time and time again is people might make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if they're failing their body,
yeah,
it's all useless, right? Because then they're tired, they're cranky, which leads into marriages falling apart, disconnected, their kids, etc. Right? But if you don't first set up your mind to be right, this is 99% mindset, right? Because you and I both know this isn't always puppy dogs and rainbows, right?
No, far from it.
Ton. I mean, I deal with problems. We're blessed. Here's why. As the presidents of our companies, we are given the hardest challenges.
Yeah.
That is our blessing.
Yeah.
That is what lands on our plate is the biggest oh shits.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's the blessing that we have to overcome that challenge.
Yeah.
So that we can pour into those who haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
So we know how to help them go through that challenge.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing that you and I sit in, right?
100% agree.
But, they need to understand that it's not always the X's and O's.
Yeah.
Right? It is the whole thing. It is the whole mind, your body, your fitness, your faith, your business, all that gets wrapped up into your business being successful. Because if you can't tie them, you can't have one without the other.
That's exactly right. Well, and it's an empty victory at the end of the day. It's an empty victory if it is one-sided.
Right.
Like, I don't want to have an empty victory. I want to be where all of us win together, including my family. Like, it's a joy. And she's very much part of the business, my wife.
Well, is she?
And the kids in the choices we make. Like, it was very much our kids' decision when I said, hey, Dad's switching from insurance to this. It's going to be a lot of long hours. There's going to be this. I might miss some sports. I might miss this. And my boy he's now 16. My boy at the time was 6 years old. And I got his buy-in at 6 years old. I said, so are you okay that some nights I may not be able to tuck you in because I might be on appointment, but it is for the better, Bentley. I will not waste my time out there. I won't go out there and just waste time and just say business to do business. Like when I'm out, trust that it's because it's for a better life and we're going to accomplish this. And he says, okay, Dad. Wendy bought in on it, my wife. And so when there was times when I would come home and Bentley would be like, I wish Dad was here tucking me in. When he's like, instead of being a ticked off mom, she'd be like, instead of saying like, oh, I wish he was here too. Like, what a piece of crap, right? And she says, hey, remember we had that conversation on Sunday, how Dad's going to go out and do this stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, this is one of those nights, but Dad's out there because he must be getting a contract because he wouldn't be out there if he wasn't getting a contract. And I'd come back with a contract. communication's huge. Involvement and buy-in from all your family's huge. It's not easy. This business is hard. Entrepreneurship is a sacrifice, but it shouldn't be a sacrifice forever. There should be a point where you're doing the Dan Martell method and you're buying back your time and replacing yourself with incredible team members. And that takes working on yourself and being a leader so that ultimately you can accomplish that dream.
There's no doubt. Now, you guys have an event coming up for your franchisees.
We do. Our annual event, we do it every year. We love it.
Talk to me about that event.
Yeah. So we kick it off, and this year it's in an arena. So like an actual boxing arena, like a historical arena where they used to have boxing events. And our whole theme is around that. So we'll have like our MC will even wear like a robe and all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast. And then on top of that, we have the industry experts. So we have Brent Daniels, who, if he was on here, he'd tell you he was the first franchise owner. He was number 3.
Okay.
He was number 3 franchise owner. He'll be
the first
quite a bit.
You too?
Actually, no. Yeah. No, the first was actually a person that rented Mark's basement of all people. And then they saw what he was doing. He's like, I want to do this. And they started doing it. And as we became a Joe, he became the first one to do it. And he's like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And he's still with us. He's already renewed his contract. It's already been over 5 years since he started with us. And
that's a lot of commitment.
Well, what's cool is we've now seen proof that someone can outdo the statistics that you're not going to make it past 3 years.
Right.
We've proven it now with Joe alone. Like, we have people coming up on their 6th and 7th years, which is
amazing.
Really, really fun.
Yeah.
But we'll have industry experts. Then Jerry Norton, he'll be up there speaking a lot. We have Pace Morby flying out and speaking.
That's awesome.
And so it's kind of a fun time to just lead the business, work on the business, connect with community. You know as well as I do, community is everything. I do believe the people that are winning at the highest level are collaborators. It's not the people going solopreneur.
Yeah.
The people that are winning high are the ones collaborating with other people, and they don't see it as competition, but they see it as collaboration. The collaborators are winning right now.
That's right. No, it's funny. I said that at the beginning of 2025. This year for me, is a collaborative year.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that it stops at the end of the year. I mean moving forward.
Yeah,
my intentions in business are always to be more in a collaborative effort than trying to figure it out and do it alone. Right.
Yep.
And that's why I think Joe Homebuyer and Justin Colby and everything that we've done, there's going to be a lot of
collabs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Great people should be working together.
That's
great communities should be working together.
Absolutely.
That is going to be a fun thing I'm looking forward to this year.
Listen, guys, if you like the leader of Cody Hofhine, I need you guys to at least go check out, just for your own sake. I get nothing from it, but go check out Joe Homebuyer. What are the 2 websites we want them to go to?
So you go to joehomebuyer.com. That's our main one.
Yeah.
And that's where they can kind of just read through and see how it is and speaks to the person that's already doing deals. But then the joeway.com is where they can go get their 5 steps of negotiation. And here's my promise to you. You watch those videos and I promise you your negotiation will change for the better. That's my promise.
Phenomenal. Guys, this has been awesome. Brother, I really appreciate you being on.
You're the man.
If you're looking to grow this business and you want an actual framework to do it, the franchise model is a great model. Joe Homebuyer is a great model. Appreciate you both for showing up. If this has been helpful and you liked it, make sure you share this with 2 of your friends. We'll see you on the next episode.